Today is September 14, 2025. I want to continue our conversation about colonialism, where we explore stories shaped by imperialism, displacement, and the lingering echoes of empire. Today I want to take you into a book that doesn't just tell a story, it draws you into a fog of history, myth, and spirit. I'm taking you to Vietnam. Quan Barry's She Weeps Each Time You're Born is a novel that feels less like reading and more like entering a dream. I've read a lot of novels about Vietnam. The Mountains Sing and Dust Child by Nguyễn Phan Quế Mai are among my favorites. Those books are vivid, rich, and deeply emotional. But Quan Barry takes a different path here. Her story moves slowly, like mist curling around a riverbank. It's mysterious, it's heavy with history, and it's covered in layers that never quite lift. Barry herself is a Black Amerasian writer, born in Saigon and raised in Massachusetts. She's the daughter of a Vietnamese mother and African-American father. Her own life story exists at the crossroads of war, migration, and empire, and you can feel that weight in her writing. Every page reflects her identity, not just as someone who carries Vietnam's history, but also as a poet. Her sentences have rhythm, like they've been carved carefully, word by word. At the center of this novel is Rabbit, a young woman born during the Vietnam War, not just the American part, the French part as well, who can hear the voices of the dead. Through her, we walk through Vietnam's complicated history: French colonial rule, Cold War violence, refugee displacement. But these aren't just events on a timeline. In Barry's hands, history is alive. The voices of the past whisper to Rabbit, and through her, to us. One of the characters I can't stop thinking about is a teenage Russian soldier. He's brought in by the Vietnamese to help locate the bodies of French soldiers who died long ago. He's so young, almost fragile, and yet he carries himself with a kind of quiet dignity. I found myself falling in love with him, this boy far from home, caught in a web of history he did not choose. His presence is a reminder of how empire pulls people in from everywhere else, turning their lives into pawns on a board they can't even see. Colonialism isn't just a backdrop in She Weeps Each Time You're Born. It is the haunting spirit that hovers over every page. You see how French occupation carved wounds into Vietnam's landscape and soul. You feel how the Cold War turned this country into a battleground for foreign powers. And those wounds, they're still open. They're still open today. When I read Barry's novel, I couldn't help but see parallels with today's refugee crises, with nations being used as bargaining chips, with the ongoing exploitation of smaller countries by larger ones. Colonialism is not history, it's alive. This is also a deeply spiritual novel. The Vietnamese goddess of mercy and compassion is a shadowy presence throughout. Sometimes Rabbit mentions her, other times you just feel her. She hovers at the edge of the narrative, a reminder that compassion exists even in a world soaked in suffering. One scene that stays with me is a simple conversation between an old man and a little girl drifting on a raft. He tells her that kindness won't be rewarded in another life because it's all the same life. That line lingers like a bell. It collapses the boundaries between past and present, between suffering and redemption. It's as if Barry is saying, history is not something we leave behind. We live in it. We carry it. She Weeps Each Time You're Born isn't a book you can breeze through. It's slow. It's deliberate. It's heavy with poetry. But that's the point. It demands that we slow down and face the ghosts of empire, their voices, their stories, and their grief. For me, this book was less about finding answers and more about feeling the weight of history and the compassion that runs through it. It's a haunting spiritual journey I won't forget. And in our world today where colonial patterns repeat themselves in new forms, Barry's work feels urgent. It reminds us that the shadows of empire are never truly gone. If you want to dive deeper into this story, I highly recommend picking up Quan Barry's She Weeps Each Time You're Born. Take your time with it. Let it unsettle you. Let it whisper to you. Thanks for listening.